Welcome back to the 14th episode of the Dan and Tyler Show. I am Dan. This is Tyler. Tyler's going to take a second and just announce our sponsor of this year. Tyler.
What's up, man?
Hey, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm awesome.
Episode 14, we all look like we're exhausted.
Yep, this is the last episode of the season. Season 1. Thank you all for joining.
And we're ending it with a great guest, but before we get to that great guest, let's go ahead and announce today's sponsor. As you guys know by now, if you've been following along, today's sponsor is the official sponsor for Season 1, which is National Lawn Maintenance. National Lawn Maintenance takes care of all your lawn and snow removal needs for the 2021 season. I know Tom's looking forward to a great winter, a strong snow season, hopefully, for him. And if you have anything you want to give Tom a call for, whether that be snow removal, fall cleanups, maybe last minute, or maybe a spring cleanup you're looking to get a quote on for the spring, make sure to reach out to him. His number here is 603-888-6594. Again, that's 603-888-6594. And make sure you hit that 603 first, because now in New Hampshire you have to dial 603 first.
Yep.
So thank you very much, Tom, for sponsoring the first season of the Dan and Tyler Show. I know Dan and I have had a wonderful time sharing your company with our viewers, and we're really looking forward to a strong partnership for 2022.
Sure.
We just need to negotiate the terms. Just kidding, Tom. Love you, buddy. But thank you very much for sponsoring us. And with that said, let's get right into today's guest. And it is with great pleasure that I announce today's guest is none other than Mike Danaher. Mike, how we doing, buddy?
Hey, doing great. Pleasure to be here. Good to see you guys.
Thanks for coming out, man.
Thanks for having me on.
I know you made the long trek out from Amherst, but we appreciate you coming out here and spending some time with us, and maybe some, letting our viewers get to know you a little bit.
Yeah, what a 25-minute trek, Well worth it. Happy to be here.
You go through Bedford to get here?
Everett Turnpike. Actually, I was coming from Merrimack, so
okay.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
Went around.
Yep.
Hillsborough County.
Right.
Yeah.
It's supposed to rain tomorrow in the morning.
Is it? That'll make. I'm glad we recorded today.
Yeah, this will be coming out Friday. So it's going to snow tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's actually supposed to snow on
Saturday.
Saturday.
It is supposed to snow up north tomorrow.
Okay.
So if you guys are watching from North Conway or above, like Berlin area, it's what's happening right now?
If you're watching 2 days in advance, anyway.
Just so you know, yesterday's weather.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yesterday.
Yeah,
Anyways.
Quick side note, our producer now has a mic, so if you hear a random ghost,
we should probably announce that.
That is our producer, Derek, of Apex Studios.
That's me.
That's him.
Thankfully, he produces every one of our shows, otherwise this show would not happen.
In Season 2, he'll have an official camera on him.
Really?
So, yes, sir.
Yeah, well, he officially graduated the training wheels program. He's got a mic now.
Yep.
So.
Yep. He learned how to he learned how to behave.
No
so
camera, though. He's got a beer in his hand, so.
We're going to give him a camera.
Not today.
Season 2.
You're giving me a camera?
Yes. The one that you bought.
We'll see how today goes.
Right.
No, but he's got a mic now. We always ask him to chime in, and we realized none of you guys could hear him, so we needed to at least hook him up to a mic so that when we ask him a question that he probably doesn't know the answer to, he can answer us honestly and
Honestly.
I'll do my best.
So, Mike.
Yes.
Talk to me, Goose. Tell us a little bit about who you are, where you're from, what you do.
Yeah.
Obviously, you grew up in New York.
Grew up in New York. Went to college in New Hampshire, and then right now I'm a portfolio manager for some of Fidelity's fixed income separately managed accounts. Which is kind of a new product rollout that we've had over there.
How new, like for them? Not for you, but for them. Have they had that?
But for me and for them, I was there when they launched, and we launched about. Well, I guess it's not as it's been around for 4 years now. I guess the time has just flown, but launched in fall of 2017.
Okay.
Yeah, just kind of like an alternative to like the mutual funds that Fidelity runs. I know it's kind of a well-known mutual fund company, so
sure,
just another product offering to help with folks' retirement.
There you go. Amen to that.
Absolutely.
Now, was finance something you always saw yourself getting into?
I think
like maybe in high school started thinking about what you wanted to do, and
I think it was just. I mean, I know we're all kind of like similar age and everything. So just growing up in the recession and everything that happened there.
Yep.
I was a senior in high school in 2009. So like fall of 2008, early 2009, just seeing everything in the news, seeing people in the community and how they were just impacted in such an unfortunate way. It's really scary.
Every teacher saying good luck getting a job. I remember that in high school.
Yeah, man. I mean, it is. I mean, we were all so young, but just you could get the sense of how surreal it really was, and so just like trying to understand more about what happened and like just learning more about like that whole problem and transformational part of all of our lives.
Yeah.
Got
the
me
transformational part in our country, really. I mean,
oh, no doubt. Yeah.
I mean, the amount of. Have you ever watched that? Oh, what's it called? What's the movie called?
That one.
I watch it all the time. It's on Netflix. It has to do with the '08 recession, the housing crisis, and
Big Short.
Yes. Have you seen that?
It's a great book too. Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
Yeah, with Steve Carell and. Yeah. It's a good movie. I love watching that movie. More than my wife may like me watching it because I watch it all the time, and it's just impactful to watch all these families that were ruined, and also how stupid they were with mortgage lending, which is really the root of that whole '08 crisis.
Yeah.
Kind of going on right now too.
It's a
little bit, not as bad.
The mortgages?
Yeah, they're giving everything away.
But hopefully not. It's supposed to learn from your mistakes.
It's crazy housing market out there.
It is a crazy housing market.
We're coming close to the next fall, but anyway.
So
hopefully not as bad as
I
then.
hope not.
But you always got to be careful, no doubt.
In some small way, do you feel like what you do is trying to help you do your part in preventing that from happening again?
I think you always just try to realize and internalize that you're like trying to be a steward for real people's money and retirement.
We're not talking about the Michael Jordans of the world. We're talking about the everyday working man who's putting his money away like he should be every week.
Exactly.
Who works hard for his money.
Of course. Yeah.
And relies on that account to be there for him when he does retire.
A significant portion of individuals' life savings, they're using that to fund their retirement, to pay for a portion of their kids' colleges. So I think, like, while I'm not arrogant enough in my seat to think that I can, like, change the financial system or anything.
Of course not. That's why I said some small way.
You can be a true steward for your clients and ensure that you allocate their dollars that they've entrusted to you as best as you possibly can for them to ensure that their money has as stable and like attractive of a return as possible in any environment.
Well, I was going to say, any kind of investment, there's no guarantee. I think you'll agree on that.
Absolutely.
It's never a guarantee. It's always
never a guarantee.
It's always a certain risk level, but
it's always important to...
You're doing your best.
Yeah, no, always important to like do your research, speak to experts, financial advisors. I'm not like a financial advisor personally, but it's really important to educate yourself on this space because, I mean, it's all of our savings. It's important. It's our future.
So is any part of your job doing research?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's really all pieces of the puzzle. It's literally selecting what type of, taxable or tax-exempt bonds are the best fit for a client's portfolio. So that's researching to ensure that company or that municipality, like a town or city, is healthy and financially able to pay you back, and also ensuring that you're getting that bond or that investment at the right price. I mean, no one wants to buy, a $3 million, house that only has 1,000 square feet and a leaky toilet. So every asset you got to ensure that you're getting at like an appropriate price that makes up for the risk that you're taking for your clients.
Absolutely.
So research both in terms of ensuring a entity will pay you back, and also researching prices, market dynamics, trading. There's a lot of research.
A lot goes into it.
No doubt.
Absolutely.
Now that must be stressful, handling, someone's retirement.
Yes.
And telling them that you're going to do, obviously you are doing your best to best invest their money. But
all right, guys, sorry about that. We had a quick break there. We had there's rolling blackouts in the area, so we apologize. But we're back on air now, and Mike was just telling us a little bit about this and that. So with that said, we'll get right back into today's show.
Little of this, little of that coming. Yeah. No. Or in terms of stress, I was hoping. I'm hoping that the video quality, while I'm sure it's fantastic, I don't want you to zoom in on all the gray hairs I have with all the
what do you mean, you look great, man.
Stress that's been going on.
What are you? How old? You just turned 30, right?
30. Yeah.
You look great, man.
Oh no, I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, I think. So I got this role. I was more junior in the team until about 6 or so months ago, and we had quite a bit of turnover. But I think, I think it's definitely stressful, but like it's kind of just one of those things of like being in the arena and having a decent amount of responsibility. I mean, it's just like a privilege to be able to have that in life and to walk in every day, like knowing that what you're doing has a lot of meaning, as I'm
Absolutely.
sure, each of you have in your careers as well. It's a special thing and it's a privilege. Not everyone has that.
I was going to say, there's two sides of the coin. Yeah, there's pressure, but then the other side of the coin, how much opportunity there is to impact people's lives in a positive way, and how much you personally, or you and your group, it sounds like, can inflict positive.
Yeah, I mean, we certainly hope
effects on
so.
people.
We certainly hope so. Yeah, I mean,
Now-
yep.
So let's go back to you went to. So this is how you got to New Hampshire. You went to college in New Hampshire.
Yeah.
You went to, is it Dartmouth?
Yep.
Okay. Did you study finance there?
Yeah. I majored in economics and minored in public policy. So little
Okay.
finance, little government.
Nice. And did you run there?
Yeah.
You did? Okay.
Yeah. Ran cross country and track.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you plan on doing that when you got there?
Yeah. I mean, that was part of the reason why I got in.
Oh,
I wasn't
okay.
going to be able to be smart enough to get in all these, Ivy League schools
Gotcha,
or whatever.
gotcha.
But the nice thing was that was kind of my sport in high school.
Oh, okay.
If you take one look at me, my sport opportunity set was a little bit narrowed down, but happened to be a decent runner. And so it was fairly successful at the high school level, got recruited to go there. And so
Okay,
that was a nice component of having the opportunity to go to like a great school like that. I mean,
I
I
didn't
don't
realize
take that lightly. I was really lucky, to go there.
Fortunate, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
So were you looking at different options as well, or was this like your number one school you wanted to go to?
For college, yeah, I mean, looked at a few schools. Yeah, it was cool. I mean, got recruited to a few places, but it's definitely different than the recruiting that you see for like someone going to a football or basketball school.
And nowadays you can monetize as a college athlete.
I
so.
know. I
Which is
got to
crazy.
read more about that, but it is pretty wild. But yeah, it came down to, at the time, Dartmouth and Wake Forest down in
Wake
North
Forest.
Carolina, both great
Great school,
schools,
yeah.
and just wanted to be a little bit closer to home in upstate New York.
Sure. Yeah, there's a kid in California. Did you hear about this?
No,
17-year-old senior just signed with Puma for a shoe deal.
really?
Yep.
Jeez.
So at 17, he's probably making a couple $100,000 a year signing for Puma and playing basketball for him. So
Good
It's
for him.
crazy, man.
crazy. And if he's, a lot of those kids don't have a lot of money growing up, so
Oh, yeah.
the amount of impact and change that can have on his life is probably huge.
Similarly, yeah, I've heard like I have to read more about it, but I believe that like some high school basketball players or kids now that are a year or two from the draft will play like internationally and
Correct.
not go to
Correct.
like a college just to give themselves, I mean, professional basketball experience, but a paycheck too.
Yeah.
Which, hey, I mean,
Well, and
all
that's-
respect to that.
I think it's pretty common over there in Europe to play basketball professionally at 15, 16, 17 years old. Like, do you know the name Luka Doncic?
You did that,
Yeah.
yeah.
He did that?
He started at like 14 playing pro ball, and
Wow.
there's different. I guess I don't know how it works, but there's a million different like grades over there that you can like work your way up. So you can start young over there, in the pro leagues, and kind of work your way up. And obviously, I'm sure the ultimate goal is still the NBA because that's where the most dollars are. But
Yeah.
yes, I know a lot of players do go over there. A lot of players from a lot of players from like who are quote unquote big players around here who go D1 to like Boston University and all these
Mhm.
schools around here,
Mhm.
small time D1 schools for basketball. They end up going overseas and playing over there,
Yeah.
and then they play over
You
there.
can
for
make a
little bit.
great living.
Yeah, you can provide for your family, continue your basketball career, which is obviously every athlete's dream is to continue playing what they love. So
Yeah.
And
whether
move
it's running or whatever,
You can also move across the sea. It's pretty cool.
yeah, you get to go
See the
overseas.
world.
Like shout out to Caleb Joseph.
Is he?
He's overseas right now. He's been playing overseas for a couple years now.
Syracuse, right?
Well, he went to Syracuse, and then he played for Creighton.
Okay.
He finished his
He
career at
transferred.
Creighton. Yeah, transferred to Creighton. Played 2 or 3 years there.
Was he high school at Nashua?
He played. So he went to. I knew him. I knew him from Nashville because he played. What's it called? Not Silver Knights. Nighthawks.
Yeah.
I coached in Nighthawks basketball program, which is like this like fall travel league, and he played there. And then yes, he played 1 year at Nashville High South, and then he transferred to prep school, which was
Okay.
I think I don't remember Cushing Academy down in Mass.
Heard of that.
I want to say that's what it was.
Okay.
So he played there. But there's a lot of kids at Nashville have gone to prep schools. There's a lot of prep schools in the area. Brewster Academy and New Hampton, and there's a lot of these schools that players go to. Like Donovan Mitchell, who plays for Utah Jazz, went there, and
Oh, wow.
there's a lot of players. Dwayne Wade's son just went to Brewster Academy in New Hampshire.
Wow.
Just graduated. They all do like a gap year to kind of hone in, like
Like
let
a
their
prep
body,
year,
let their
get
bodies
recruited.
develop a little bit, and yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. You got recruited to go play there, and you ended up running for Dartmouth, and ended up moving to New Hampshire and becoming the 603 guy.
Yeah,
So
love it here. Love it here.
So
No, it's awesome.
initially, right when you got to campus, did you fall in love, or?
Yeah, I mean, I really liked it there. I'm, grew up in a suburban area, kind of always a little bit more introverted, not as much of like a big city person. So just like just the entire state, the people, the outdoor spirit,
Yep.
Live free or die attitude, friendliness, both on campus and just in the community.
Yeah.
Really was.
There's a nice town
it's
over
awesome.
there.
Yeah. Oh, Hanover's
Hanover,
beautiful.
yeah.
Hanover, New Hampshire's where Dartmouth is, and
Big medical
beautiful
program?
like New England small town. Yeah, they have a huge hospital up there, medical school, and then Dartmouth Hitchcock Medical Center.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then so fast forward, did you do 4 years there?
Yeah, 4 years there.
And then you ended up.
I turned pro early. I jumped right into the Fidelity draft.
Did you go right there, right to Fidelity?
I did.
Really?
Yeah.
So you've been
After
there-
the 4 years, got the degree, and then came here in
You've been-
2013.
Fidelity for 8 years now.
Yeah, 8.5.
Good for
Yeah.
Where'd you go to school for again?
Majored in economics
Okay.
and minored in public policy. So yeah, a little finance, a little government, kind of.
Nice.
So do we see a political role down the road for you, or
No.
No, okay.
No, I don't think
especially
so.
with today's political climate?
Yeah, that there's like a lot of things in life that I'm not smart enough to be able to solve or understand. That's one of them, of course.
I don't think no one has yet. So
That's humility. I appreciate
Right,
that. So.
right. So leave that to other folks. But but like I was able to kind of get that intersection when I joined Fidelity because I was able to do some work in a junior role on municipal bonds. So
Really?
as I was describing earlier, like there will be a lot of bonds and investments that are issued to like build a local school or to build a highway that's kind of off an exit ramp in your town. So like to build a lot of local infrastructure. Yeah, like
they're building a middle school.
City of Nashua, New Hampshire Turnpike system has its own set of municipal bonds. So that's kind of an intersection between like understanding like taxes or local politics or how governments operate, and then also just ensuring that it's a good investment opportunity or people can retire with that sort of stuff.
Cool, pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a lot deeper than I thought it went.
I feel like I'd be remiss if I didn't go without shouting out your lovely wife.
Always got a shout out,
Bridget, me, and now Danaher. So you guys have been married for a few years now. So
yeah,
I would be remiss if I didn't give a shout out to my awesome cousin Bridget. But I have to thank her for letting you come on tonight, because if I don't say that, I don't want to get in trouble from my wife. So
hey, no,
Bridget,
all good.
if you're watching, Bridge, thanks very much for letting me come on. We appreciate it.
We got to shout out Bridget. She's my better half. She's my life. So love you, Bridge.
Also, quick shout out to Lauren for letting Tyler come on.
Yeah.
Almost 9 months pregnant.
My wife, this will be
man.
my last public appearance for 18 years. No,
it's exciting.
We're about to give birth to a beautiful baby boy, and words I can't talk about it too much because I'm gonna get choked up. But words can't tell you how excited I am to be a dad, and
Gonna be a great
it's
dad.
been a lifelong dream, and it's all. I'll just leave it at that. But yeah, we're excited. But
Congratulations, man.
I appreciate. Yeah, thank you very much.
I remember all the talks at Janot's.
And to you. Future photo as well.
Yeah. That could be coming out.
Got something in the works, right?
Yeah. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Maybe next year's episode when you're on.
Maybe late April next year.
There you go.
Yeah.
Season 2. We'll say that.
Yeah. Is this the last episode of season 1?
So you're our grand finale.
That's
of season
an
1.
honor.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So we did 14. We said 14, right?
14, yeah.
14 episodes, and you're our last one.
Good for you guys.
Save the best for last.
How many? This would be a good question. How many guests have we had? You're supposed to know these kinds of. Okay.
Like, if this is, 14?
Maybe
we
like
probably
10 or
had
11?
10, yeah.
Yeah, we've had 10 or 11 guests, so we've had quite a few guests.
Yeah. I was trying to catch up on as
9.
many episodes as I could before coming on. I saw you were on for one, Derek.
Yeah,
so.
of course we had to have our sound guy on, our producer on.
That's a great thing you guys got going. It's awesome to be a part of.
Yeah.
I feel like it's in the, what would you call it in terms of like the incubator phase, or I feel like we're very early on in terms of, you set high goals, right? So we have a high expectation of what this show could become. It's certainly just a hobby right now. It's obviously not monetizing. It's not doing anything like that, but we certainly have high expectations for what it could become, and the ultimate goal is to, use people like yourself, myself, Dan, self. We all work in businesses, whether they're small or large, different sectors, different markets. So if we can give as much information to the public as possible, that's kind of our overall mission here, is to kind of help the people of our age be the best they can be overall, both in life and in work and in family and all that kinds of stuff. So that's kind of, I think I would agree, that's kind of our mission statement if you had to put it on a wall.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
So anytime we get a chance to have people like you or any of the guests we've had on is an ultimate dream of ours. So
hey, I'm humbled, and you guys are off to a great start by the sounds of it. So
yeah, like I said, we tell every guest at the end of it, which we'll tell you at the end of ours too. But you're more than welcome to come back again as we grow and get bigger, and as hopefully we do, and hopefully as your career grows and gets bigger too, and then we make it the world a better place, like you were talking about in the beginning. So.
I earned an invite back in like 15 minutes. I hope I don't torpedo this for the rest of the way. No,
I said
maybe
at the end. Maybe.
Yeah, exactly. Your discretion. No worries. No worries.
No guarantees, right?
Exactly.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So, fast forward to where were you going with that?
I think we're moving to Nashua, or
yeah, moving to Nashua. Actually, that's a good question. Speaking of shouting out your lovely wife, Bridget.
Yeah.
What year did you guys meet? How long has it been now?
So we've been dating for a little over 6 years, married for like 2.5.
June, right? June of
19, June 9th.
Okay.
You're quizzing me. I gotta remember these.
And you're on air right now, so you gotta.
I know.
And you remember you got engaged in
July.
No, what
of
town?
18.
Or what state?
Wells, Maine.
Bing. See, look how quick that was.
Yeah.
First time I've asked him that all night. Look how quick that was.
That's not bad. Yeah, I was gonna say, watch out in the comments section or whatever. If I got anything wrong, we might need to correct it or whatever.
All right, no more dates.
I think we got it.
No more dates, man. I promise.
No, I think we got it. Special times for sure.
But I think I met you New Year's Eve when you were dating Bridge, and then it was at their apartment at Canterbury.
New Year's Eve, huh?
Right. I think we were all up late, and I don't even think Pat and Christina were dating then.
Yeah. No, I think like they certainly started dating not too long after.
Sure.
But yeah, I'm trying to. I do remember we went bowling one time. We did a double date.
You and
Lauren
Bridge, yeah.
Bridget and myself.
Yep.
And we went to, I think it was Merrimack 10 Pin. You guys cleaned us out.
Possibly. That was fun though. Yes, that was a long time ago. Wow.
Oh yeah, blast though.
Oh, it was a great time.
But
great time.
Yeah. No, so go way back, and it's a great thing.
That's crazy how long you guys have already been together though. 6 years.
Time flies. How long's it been for you and Lauren?
Whew.
I mean, it's high school, right?
Oh, I'm good at dates. This is my good thing.
Couple weeks.
Quizzing you now.
September 24th, 2010. We started dating, and so we've been together a little over 11 years now. Married for almost 3.5 now. We got married in August of 18, so it would be 3.5 in February. So actually, on my birthday, it'll be 3.5. So
good for you.
Wait,
guys.
you remember the date you guys started dating? I could not tell you when me and my wife started dating. No, I couldn't even make a guess.
I should preface it, and she's the only girlfriend I've ever had.
Okay.
So it's not hard. You don't have to worry about which girlfriend you dated or this or that. I only had one. I married the first girl.
What kind of man do you think I am over here?
I was saying most people have more than one girlfriend in their life. So
that's a nice flex.
I married the first girlfriend. I always told myself I'm never going to waste time dating somebody I don't think I could be married to. So it made it very easy for me to never try to go after a girl who I just thought was pretty or just thought was smart or whatever good qualities she had.
Sure.
So not to go off on a tangent here, but that was always my rule. Never. And Lauren was a girl that I saw myself being with forever. She's she's obviously the best. So for me,
She checked everything off.
She checked every one of my boxes off. She's a sweetheart. She's my much better half and makes me a better person every day. So for that reason, it was an easy. It was her choice, not mine. So it was an easy job for me to accept. So.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's awesome. Most people have to make mistakes before they realize, who they want to be with.
Yeah.
And you're just like, yeah, I'm good.
As our honored guest this week, you can tell me if you agree with this or not, but one of my number one rules are try to learn from other people's mistakes so you don't make them, right? So that's like something I've done that since I was probably single-digit age, 8, 9, and 10.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, through observation, learn from other people's mistakes so that you don't make them. Because then you're kind of like, what's the most valuable commodity is time, right? So now you're saving yourself time, and now you have more time to invest in the things that do matter, quote unquote, right? And like, whatever that may be important to you. Everybody's lives are different.
Yeah.
But you can spend your time doing the things that are important to you. And for me, it's family is my biggest thing. I want to be able to spend time with my family, which is why I never wanted a job that required me to travel much, because I wanted to have more time at home with the wife and future kids.
Mm-hmm.
So that was important to me. So I made sure I chose a career Now, granted, when I was in high school and college, I had no idea I was going to go back and, one day run Janot's and hopefully grow Janot's, but I certainly didn't want a job where I was going to be on the road. Like, I looked at being a sports agent or being a lawyer. Getting to be a lawyer to be a sports agent, I wanted to do that. And then I thought about being a pilot. That's, again, on the road all the time. So I was like, and then I wanted to be a cop when I was in college. I thought about being a police officer. And, again, very high-risk job. So I was like, I can't do that to my wife, coming home or going out every night on the road, whatever you call it, whatever Josh would call it, but it's just scary for me.
On the streets.
I couldn't do that to her. Leave every night. Good night, honey, and then you're
Go walk a beat.
Yeah, you're going to walk a beat. You're doing a very honorable job.
Oh, absolutely.
I highly the guy. A ton of cops come to Janot's, and I highly respect them. I talk to them all the time. And great career. But so I just found something that fit my lifestyle for what I want. Family's important to me, so I wanted to find a job that was gonna honor that value.
Sure.
So now I don't know if that's what you guys think about it in that same light or not, but that's something that's how I thought about it. Find something that I like to do and something that will accommodate my lifestyle and kind of go all in on it and just kind of make it your own.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I think like in terms of mistakes, like I don't know if I was always smart enough to like learn from others sometimes, but one thing I always try to internalize, like other than knowing dates, I feel like I have a good memory or recollection of like my own life experiences. So a big thing for me has always been like try not to make the same mistake twice. Like learn from your mistakes.
So that's the same family, right? Same thing.
Yeah, it's like a trite thing. I'm sure a lot of people always say it, but it really is. It really is true. Like always trying to think of just continuous self improvement in large and small ways to make yourself just a little bit better.
So nice.
Than the day before. That was I think always like a spirit that lives on in distance running of just like consistent training, incremental improvement, and something that I try to take in my own life. But what do you think, Dan? What life advice has kind of been most meaningful for you?
I don't think any of that. I mean,
I'm just
kidding.
That's cool though.
No,
I'm kidding.
I encourage, others.
Small improvements over long periods of time is another one of my mottos.
Yeah.
It's a really, I like that one.
Honestly, one of the big things is like not making the same mistake twice. That's a huge one that I've been. I think that I've mostly focused on, but I've never, in terms of the safety of myself, considering my family, I'd never really chose my career path over that. But I do see that with you, especially going back to Janot's and going into our talks back in high school about how a lot of kids want to be the fire chief or a police chief or Army fighter jet or no Air Force fighter jet pilot, and then there's you, and you're like, I just want to be a dad someday.
Yeah.
So it's true, and you kind of base your career around obviously you want to provide for your family, and be there for them.
Of course.
So that's
it takes money to run a
important.
family, right? It takes money to provide opportunity to them and provide a safe home for them. And, it takes money, but it's kind of. My wife always says things happen for a reason, and I always used to not argue with her, but disagree with her for on that. But then the more we dated, the more it's like going back to when we were 18, and then the more we started dating, the more she would bring it up and say it, and I was like, the more it became true and resonated with me. And so it's like it was kind of cool where Janot's didn't fall into my lap, but when the opportunity presented itself for me to go work at Janot's part time back when I was young. Whatever it was, 10 or 11 years ago.
Working at Yanni's.
Yeah, I was working at Yanni's, and even then, Yanni's Pizza, I was working there, and I was kind of planning on going to run that place for Peter. Peter was going to make me the manager there, and I was going to work full time for him and go to college part time.
It'd be run really well right now.
Yeah, and so, but I don't know. I've always been a small business guy. I like the idea of going to work and everybody knows your name, and I know probably 75% of our customers' first names.
Sure.
And I love
really cool.
I love that. I love walking in. Hey Pete. Hey Dave. Hi Frank. We have a good core group of workers between Glenn and myself and Cindy, and we have a couple new people, and we have Jimmy, who's our grocery guy now.
Mary. Shout out to
Mary.
Yep.
Mary, who's on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Glenn's sister. She was awesome. She's awesome. She's the only person other than Glenn that's been there longer than me. She's been there a long time. So shout out to her. But like you said, it's just I think it's made it easier during the hard times of life if you do what you truly love and you do what's the right fit for you.
Sure. And you're considering your future family too, which
of course,
huge.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody has different experiences. People are like snowflakes, right? Everybody's different. Everybody has different, experiences and ideas and beliefs and morals and what they want to do with their life and goals. And so that's important too. I do have a question for you though.
Yeah.
Going back to your running.
Yeah.
You were talking about cross country what you did, right? Long distance.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, I don't know if you knew this or not, but I was a big runner for a little while, probably like 3 or 4 years,
Okay.
and I found it to be extremely addictive.
Nice.
I don't know how is that. Did you find that same way, or is that common, or like? So for me, it was like, I don't know if it's the competitor in me or whatever it is, but the more I ran, the quicker I wanted to go, the longer I wanted to go.
Yeah.
I kept trying to get that time down and trying to get that distance further out. So like when I was running, I'd run 3 miles in 20 minutes, right? And then next time I'd try to run 4 miles in 20 minutes, and then 4 miles in 19 minutes, and then you just keep getting that time down. And I got so addicted to that.
Yeah. Well, I think so. I'm not a scientist, but running in kind of endurance sports can be really good in terms of like generating like endorphins.
Yeah.
So just actual kind of like biologically a system where you kind of feel a little bit better after you go, along with the other health benefits. It can kind of carry a little bit of a mental boost in some way. So that could be kind of some of the positive feedback loop that you experienced. And I just think it's like a blue collar simple sport.
Yeah.
You get a pair of sneakers and you go out there.
It's affordable.
And I think like it can be a team thing, it can be a social thing in terms of being able to just have a conversation with someone and get some exercise while doing it. But there's also just like beauty in like you're only as good as that reading on the clock.
Yep.
There's no concept of having a football or basketball game and you played really, really well, but it doesn't show up in the stat sheet.
Right.
Stat sheet never lies in running.
Absolutely.
You have that 5K result or that mile time, and that's how good you were on that particular day. That simple.
And there's no teammate to rely on. It's you.
Right.
Which is a lot like golf. I related that to golf a lot. It was all on you.
Yeah.
There's no teammate to fall back on. It's you have to show up every time.
Right. Right.
It's not like Jordan can be like, oh, I'm gonna let Pippen take all the shots tonight, or
oh yeah.
It's you every day. You gotta show up and give it.
Right. Yeah. No games that you can take off for sure. So it is cool if like there are ways that the sport operates where there's a huge team element. So it's a nice feeling of like when you do well, the team will do better. But it also is when you have an individual pressure, like you shoot a good round of golf, you have a good race. So gratifying.
Absolutely.
The other hand, when things don't go well, that's a little extra tough.
It's tough. It's a rough day.
Emotionally hard sport.
Do you still run to this day?
Yeah, recreationally. I did it for a few years out of college while I was working.
Like competitively?
Yeah, so I, like the claim to fame or whatnot, I won the 2014 Bay State Marathon.
Really?
Gold.
Nice. Yeah. That's awesome.
So I had a brief, kind of, it wasn't like professional or whatnot, but a brief turn where I had a little bit of success out of college.
Okay.
Just because I kind of enjoyed continuing to try to compete at a somewhat high level. So that was cool. I did that. The Chicago Marathon the year after in 2015 after meeting Bridge. And then kind of stopped doing that, but I'll still go out.
You
a few
won
days
it or
a week.
Ran it?
Oh, didn't win it. Yeah,
okay.
You win that, you get so professionals will run that, and that's like a 6-figure payout if you win Chicago.
Nice.
So I came in exactly 100th place, which
really?
is solid.
That's sweet.
Yeah, how many run that? Yeah.
I got to look. It was over 30,000. So it's like the size of, it's a little bigger than the Boston Marathon because there's fewer restrictions on who can get in. Wow. So Boston, you got to have a really good time. You have to fundraise a lot of money. I mean, it's for great causes, but it can narrow the field a little bit. It's still a huge race, but of course, Chicago, it's a little bit just more people.
I mean, 100 out of 30,000. That's impressive.
Yeah.
You should be proud of that.
That's the top 1% if I'm doing my math right. So
yeah, no, I mean, so I was it's like anything, I considered I was never good enough to turn pro. There's not a lot of money in that sport unless you're at a really high level.
Sure.
But enjoyed it, and I was halfway decent at it.
And still enjoy to run. You still run for exercise?
Yeah, for exercise. I like the mental benefit. It's like a good de-stressor.
Sure.
And yeah, I'm not, pushing weights around. It's like I respect the heck out of people that can do it. I'm just not as good. It's not as much my thing.
It's easier on your joints too, though.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, your knees, right? How do your knees feel doing all those miles? You fine?
I think we were talking before the show about Derek's car is 225,000 miles. I'm
Yeah.
probably at the knees feel like maybe 100, 125,
Okay.
but it's one of those things where I think it'll come back to get me later in life.
You got 35 years left.
Yeah.
Kind of like someone's truck that I hear.
Yeah.
It's like 35 years left.
Do you run on a treadmill or do you go like outside?
Oh, hate the treadmill.
Yeah.
It's like the human hamster wheel.
There you go.
You're just like on. Yeah, it is the human hamster. You're standing there going nowhere.
Part of the experience is getting outside, seeing your scenery, right?
Yeah, but sometimes it's nice to put like Netflix on your phone and just like, you know what I mean?
No, that is true.
Sits out and just go for it.
So, are you a runner, Derek?
It used to be, not really anymore.
No, you have a runner's body, so it's like you're tall and thin, so you probably can go long legs, probably. Right?
I mean, I used to a couple of years ago when I lived in Boston, I would run all the time, and same thing. The runner's high, I would get it all the time. It would just feel so.
I felt amazing after going for like a 7, 8, 10 mile run. After you're done with that, I mean, I didn't run a marathon, but that's crazy. But
10 miles, I mean, that's still
that was the best.
It's nearly half marathon. It's awesome.
You left. You feel like you could do anything. You could accomplish anything you wanted to accomplish at that point. Where you felt so good about yourself, inside that you were like, cool, I can go do anything. I used to go eat afterwards because I was so hungry, but
it's great for metabolism.
Yeah.
When I played soccer, we'd run 7 miles once a week for one practice. I was all set.
National
Cricket.
I never got into running.
Yeah.
Fagan used to hate when I ran long.
Hate running.
He's like, why do you run so much? I'm like, I don't know, man. I was addicted to it.
It's one of those things that you hate at first, right? And then once you do it for a long enough, like do it for maybe a week or so, then it starts. I feel like at first, the first couple of times you go, it's like, oh, this is the worst, and then eventually it starts.
But you build up your what do you call it, your respiratory system, right? And then, but I remember the first time when I started running. Well, I used to run in elementary school for the cross country team. But that's small stuff, right? I mean, that's not even 5Ks, I don't think. But the first time I started running was, I don't remember what time of year it was, but it was nighttime. And I was completely out of shape because I didn't run it at all before then, other than basketball. But I ran a mile in like just under 10 minutes. Terrible, like everything. And I was gassed, and I had cramps, and I barely finished the mile. And then fast forward, and you could run 10 miles, and that was when it was good, felt good. So, but part of the love is in the journey. You build, getting from point A to point B was amazing. It was fun to be the guy who you see not being able to run, and then all of a sudden you're the guy that can run.
Yeah. And
it felt good. It felt fun to be able to just. I used to love running on the beach, actually.
Oh yeah.
So for a couple of years, we used to go on vacation with my buddy Jake and his mom.
North Carolina?
No, it was Delaware, maybe.
Delaware?
Ocean City, Maryland, I think it was, maybe. I'm not sure, but I went for like a 5-mile run on the beach. It was like 105 degrees out. She was freaking out. She was yelling. I got back, and she's like, "Where are you?" She's from Jersey, so she gets loud. Mama Fagan, I love you. And she was like screaming, and it was hilarious. I was like, "I'm so sorry. I didn't know I was gone that long." And
you
just get going. It was
you gotta tell us where you're going.
I had the ocean on my right, and I had mansions on my left, and I was just jogging, and I didn't realize it was 105 degrees out. So but I had a hard time keeping the weight on then. I don't know if it was just I wasn't regimenting the weight right, or the eating right with the running, but I remember it was a problem where I couldn't eat enough food. I kept losing weight, and I was down to like below 140, and I started looking weird, and not weird, but I started looking not healthy, so I cut back on the running because I wasn't able to keep the weight on. I don't know if you probably remember that.
Oh yeah, no, I have pictures of you.
I was working with you then. And yeah, it was weird not being able to eat enough food to keep the. But it must have been a problem with you guys in college. You must have eaten a lot of food to keep up with your training.
You certainly do. Yeah, there's a whole lot. It can be kind of a complicated thing. I mean, obviously, if you look at like a lot of the top distance runners, American, there's a lot of like East African nations tend to be really, really good at distance running, and a lot of those individuals, if you're from Kenya or Ethiopia, a lot of them that are really elite are extremely skinny, as you'll see. Just kind of strong, but in like a different, more endurance way. But certainly, I think while it's intense exercise, you can lose a lot of weight. There can be benefits to that, or you can get faster. Where you certainly have to be careful. Eating disorders can be a problem for a lot of competitive runners.
Really?
I mean, if you just maybe start to get that feedback loop that you need to lose more weight to run faster, but you're not taking proper nutrition, that can be obviously a dangerous thing. Nutrition for any sort of exercise.
Sure. Not limited to running.
Lifting, anything.
Yeah.
So important. Soccer. So definitely got to be careful.
Yeah, I remember one basketball practice, I mowed down Chinese food right before it.
How'd that go?
Not a good idea.
I would say
we'll leave it at that. We'll keep it PG.
Probably Alfredo before a 5K.
Yep.
Yeah.
That episode of The Office.
Oh, geez, I haven't seen it.
Yes. Yeah. You watch The Office?
I like not end to end, so I haven't seen that episode.
Yeah,
is it like they run a 5K or something?
He shoves down a bunch of chicken Alfredo. He goes carbo loading, and he's eating all that. And he throws up on the 5K.
That's hurting my stomach just thinking about it. Oh my lord!
And I'm talking like
so thick and rich
before they start. Yeah. Minutes before they start, he's like just shoving down Alfredo sauce and like
carbohydrating.
It's hilarious.
Well, Chinese food, that's full of salt, so like you were probably wicked dehydrated too. Like
it was it was not a good practice. That practice we did a lot of suicides. Well, did not appreciate that.
You're certainly one of the people that have known that your diet has gotten a lot better over the course of the last 10 years we've known each other.
In a good way or a bad way?
In a good way.
Okay.
Just let alone the amount of Mountain Dew you used to drink when we first.
Oh yeah.
Soda, terrible.
We were Dew buddies for life. That's what we were.
Yeah, remember he came with that giant thermos thing.
We used to have Dew Fest in your basement.
Too much Mountain Dew.
Yeah, Mountain Dew and Domino's. That was bad.
Shout out to Domino's. We had Domino's tonight.
Yeah, we did. But no, we'd work an 8-hour shift and we'd have like 1 to 2 liters each of Mountain Dew. So bad.
So bad for you. I can't.
So bad.
So much sugar.
Luckily, I never got a cavity.
We went to the gym before that too.
We got to the gym. I'd have like 2 donuts. No, we'd get like a dozen donuts from Dunkin' Donut. Oh, it was great. We had a great.
Terrible. Only in college can you do that.
Yeah, I can't do that anymore.
Yeah, it changes.
For some reason, if I did that, I would be so full. I can't eat as much as I could, like back in the day.
Not nearly.
And if I did, like, even though I'm not eating as much, I'd pack it all on.
Yeah. So. Well, I'm 28 now. I feel it differently now.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I eat way better now. I feel way better when I do eat better. I don't let myself eat crappy anymore.
Yeah.
It feels...
Yeah, back in the day, you could eat whatever you want and not feel bad.
Yeah, exactly.
Not feel like crap, so.
Yeah, in high school, I'd have Taco Bell. I'm not even feeling different now. Now I gag at the thought of having Taco Bell. No offense to Taco Bell.
Love Taco Bell.
Yeah, my last time I ate Taco Bell, I got too old senior year of college.
Yep.
My buddy and I had a summer internship. We were both living in Connecticut. We split one of those Taco 12 packs. Yep. I used to love it in high school. Could plow it down just like you were saying.
Oh, yeah. 2 number 7s. I used to get 2 number 7s every time.
Yeah, and I just got super sick to my stomach, and my buddy got sick. Couldn't get through all 6. And I was like post Taco Bell prime.
Yep.
I knew I had hit past peak, and it was time to retire from Taco Bell.
Time to lay off.
But it's funny how it hits you. You used to be able to just crush that stuff.
Oh yeah. That was me with Mountain Dew. I remember I kept telling Lauren when I was asking my wife, who always asked me, "When are you gonna quit drinking Mountain Dew?" And I want to say we were just about to move in or something. I was like, well, I'm 25. I just gave her a number. I was like, I'm 25. I'll stop drinking Mountain Dew. I didn't make it to 25. I was either like 23 and a half or 24. And I was like, I felt god awful. I was like,
it was after we
like gut rot. Like my stomach was just like rotted out. I was like,
after we renovated your house, I think that's when we kind of quit.
Yeah, and we were we were pulling long days back then between John's and the house. So but we needed the Mountain Dew to get
work
through
till 2, 3 in the morning.
We were exhausted just doing. I don't even know if I could do that renovation nowadays, dude.
No, no. You start off doing that, and then now you pay someone to do it.
Yeah,
gotta work your way
my body's a little bit more broken. I have a bum shoulder now, so I have a kink in my shoulder now. But it's alright. You get older, it's experience.
Exactly.
So we talked about where you've been and where you're going. What's the future for you, Fidelity? You're just gonna keep kicking butt and working your way up the.
Of course.
No, right?
I mean, relatively new in terms of this. In terms of this job, so a little over 6 months. So I think just really focused on, taking it like year by year, and first off, like one day at a time. Really, just like trying to continue to learn about the market, get a little bit better at a new skill, become a little bit of a better like coder to help scale our business. Continue to engage in relationships across the floor to learn from our great research staff that's looking up our companies and municipalities that we invest in. Just try to like become a better like investor and fiduciary every single day and see where that takes me and takes our business, more importantly.
Nice.
So that's really the goal.
Is there any advice you can give our viewers, young or old?
I would say
probably a lot.
Focus on a kid who's graduating college, or something like that today, who's starting out in his 20s and wants to get out the right foot in terms of just don't be stupid with your money, right? Like, because you work for Fidelity, you know how important it is. You've probably been beaten over the head with the 401ks and the IRAs and getting that started as early as possible. And
I mean, there's so much there. I mean, I think like one thing that you were just saying, Tyler, really resonated with me, which I would echo, is just like do your best in terms of trying to think about like what you're interested in and passionate about, like, you know, maybe family. Do you have a girlfriend or relationship? What's important to you kind of outside of work, and where do you geographically want to be?
Because it's alluded to what you said.
Yeah, balance all those things. Try something, but also be okay if that one thing like doesn't work straight away.
Absolutely.
I mean, I've been fortunate in terms of being in, the same company for 8.5 years. But a lot of my friends, whether they were at Fidelity or other places, started in that first job, found out it wasn't for them, didn't like it, and then kind of learned from that experience. Didn't make that same mistake twice,
right?
And found a great new opportunity. Became more mature as things went on, and ultimately found their calling.
They pivoted.
Yeah, try to find that balance of like passion and then like outside of work, but like don't be afraid to like fail in a sense. And fail doesn't always necessarily mean like starting your own business right away or whatnot, but like either fail professionally or personally. Like college kid, who's if you're community college, 2-year, 4-year school year, you're 20 to 22 years old.
You're young.
Whole life ahead of you.
Yeah.
Take chances. Like, have some fun with it.
Sure. I remember not that long ago, it was me, and I don't know if you felt the same way, but I felt like I was just go, pound. Yeah. Every minute mattered, that kind of thing, right? So I remember thinking I was 22, like, oh my gosh, I'm already 22. I have so little time, and now it's like I'm 28, and I'm like, you need to relax. Like, tap the brakes a little bit, because my whole philosophy is going to be pound as hard as you could in your 20s, because you're not going to have a family. And when you do have a family, you're not going to be able to pound as hard because you're going to have other commitments outside of work. You're going to have a wife and kids and family who need your time and attention.
Yeah.
Right? So that was always my philosophy. But I also understand, I completely agree with your thought process of don't be afraid to fail, because if you commit so hard to one thing and it doesn't work out, you're going to be completely shattered, right? You can't feel that way. Yeah. It's not always going to work out the first try.
Right.
You can't be afraid, like you said, your buddies. If you didn't work at Fidelity, then you can go to X, Y, and Z company.
Right.
You can go try another thing, and odds are you're going to land on your feet, and you're going to end up finding something you really love, and it's going to work out great, and you're going to end up being happier than ever. So,
right.
I completely agree with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And another thing I found, and I'm curious if each of you have like seen this in terms of your experience. I mean, while I still have like a lot more to learn, I've found that I've been like most successful in my limited career when I'm present. Like when I'm at work, I feel like not necessarily like at Fidelity or any one company, but I feel like in today's distracted day and age, there's a lot of people that you may see in your personal and professional lives that are going through the motions kind of.
Mm-hmm.
They're kind of working, but they're kind of, checking social media or thinking about something else, or they're showing up late.
They're not present.
They're not present in that moment, like trying their very best and actually being just committed to that one thing for that day. It might not be that career for the rest of your life, but I found that just trying your very best to be present, like being present for this podcast, tends to lead to just a little bit better outcomes in my life. But I'm curious if that's something that either of you have seen or experienced in what you go through.
I think so.
Great point, dude.
Sorry. Him and I I've never met an individual other than my dad and maybe other people in my family who have as much drive as Tyler and I do. Like, I think Workaholics doesn't describe us, I would say, especially back in the day when we were killing it. But yeah, I feel like, if you put the work in, good outcomes, like you said, is going to happen. You're going to have success. You can, but there's also that philosophy like work smarter, not harder. But at the same time, when you're at your job, that's what you do. You're not there to socialize. You're not there to be on your phone and look over social media. And like there's always going to be that one person or the few people, maybe. But yeah, you're just going to shine if you put the work in and you stand out, and people are going to notice. And obviously they're going to look at your work, and they're going to look at your work ethic, and you're going to, you know, obviously surpass them, and you know, you're going to be recognized pretty much. And I know that from, you know, working at Shoutouts and going through the motions there, you know, just being a little high school kid. But I just went there and I just grinded and kind of worked my way up pretty quickly because Mr. Bingham saw my drive there, and it's just kind of been history from there. And I've come from a family of hard workers, so it's kind of in my blood, I would say.
I think that kind of shows, though, if you're like not present at your job, that's not really where you should be. Like, I feel like you should be somewhere that you're passionate about and somewhere that you're excited to
that's done. Huge too.
And I think if you're staring out the window or checking Facebook every 5 minutes, I think that kind of just shows like, oh, maybe this is not my fit. Maybe my fit is somewhere else.
That's interesting. That's an awesome point, Mike. Is that, and I never thought about it in the way you guys talk. So being present is something that I have. I thought I brought it, but I didn't bring it. But I have a goal, a book I keep with goals of every year. So every January 1st or ish, right around there, I sit down and write goals for the year. And one of the ones I'm going to write down for 2022 is, and I don't usually share them, but I'll share this one, is being more focused on the moment, being present in the moment. And I never thought about it in the way that you guys are talking about, in terms of being physically present in the moment, not being on social. I always came at it the way I'm naturally very goal-oriented, in meaning I have such high expectations of what I want my future self to be like. Mm-hmm. And what I'm finding is that I'm not enjoying the present because of that. Because I'm always thinking about goal X, Y, and Z when I'm 40, 50, and 60, I find myself not enjoying my 25, 26, 27, 28 as much.
Yeah, you're enjoying to be 60.
Yeah,
you're looking forward to it.
I am looking forward to being 60. But there's also an emphasis on making sure you're healthy enough to get there. You're not stressing yourself out at 28 so much that you can't get out of bed in the morning because you work yourself so hard. But
heart palpitations. But
no, I like that you said that because it's a big point that I want our viewers to get across, is that being present is it's funny you brought that up, because it's something on my goal sheet for next year, is to be more focused on the moment, in terms of just focus on the moment. Don't have goals for the future, but don't let those goals control you to the point where you're not even enjoying what your life is like right now, because you're so focused on what you want, like I said, 2030 or 2040, 40, 50, and 60 to be like. It's important to have those goals, right? You want to have a retirement plan in place, and you want to make sure your kids have, a nice upbringing, but at the same time, you don't want to forget what, 25, 35, and 45 is like, because you were so focused on that. So that's a great point, because that's something that's been on my mind lately, is because starting around Thanksgiving, I started thinking about what I want my goals to be like for next year, and that was one of my goals. It's funny you brought that up. Mm-hmm. So that's a good goal. That's important. Yes. Because being present is huge, and not only are you going to have the benefit of being more present like I want to be, but also you're going to actually be more focused on your job every day, kind of what you're alluding to, I think, in terms of you're not worried about what's on social, Facebook, or now Meta, and whatever that means. I'm starting not to understand social media anymore, to be honest with you, but you're going to be much more focused on the task at hand, I think is kind of what you were saying too, right? You're not focused on this, and that. You're focused on exactly what you're doing, and you're going to get a much better product out of that.
And I think that goes with anything in life too. If you put 110% into anything, you're going to see good outcome, I feel like.
But great point.
No, that's really good. Yeah, being present.
In today's world, it's very hard.
Very important.
It's very hard to do that in today's world,
especially as the technology gets better.
Yeah, you're being pulled in so many directions, and it depends on what you're doing. But I'm sure, Mike, you've got a number of different people on your team leaning on you and looking for different results, or maybe you have someone in social saying, "Mike, what's up? Dartmouth days were great, and you got this, that, and the other." So, the water heater blew, and then you got the car broke down, and then, no, I'm kidding, but I'm just saying, you got a million different things you're probably on your mind, but being present in exactly what you're working on is huge.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think there's just, again, so many awesome things in terms of the day and age that we live in, but I think there's still a premium on, standing for something and caring about something. Actually,
principles.
Being sincere, and giving a crap about what you do and your reputation, and your family, your company, representing them, your community, representing them and trying to bring some pride to them. I think you maybe don't see as much of that in this day and age as in previous generations, but I think it's really special when it occurs, and none of us are perfect, but I think trying to do that to the best that you can, it can't hurt, you know?
No, not at all. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Pride and ownership, too. Pride and ownership in terms of, like one day, I'm hoping to own Janot's market. I never say never, because you don't want to cut your chickens till they hatch, right? Or wherever the motto goes, but...
Cut them? You mean count them?
Count them. Thank you.
But, count them and cut them.
Yeah, I mean, you hit the nail on the head there.
Now, Tyler, are there other goals that you have written for last year that you wouldn't mind? I'm sure some of them should absolutely remain private, but are there any that you're comfortable sharing with your audience?
Yeah, it's fun. I honestly, I'm a little bit mad at myself because I meant to bring it being the last year's episode, the last episode of the year, excuse me. I meant to bring it to kind of, because I usually sit down and review it around Christmas time, or usually just after Christmas when it's kind of a lull in the year, and yes, there's a. What was the original question though?
Oh, just any other goal from that list other than being, more intentional for next year that you wouldn't mind sharing with us?
So I would say, it's gonna sound cliche, but every year I write down a goal to be a better husband, and that's a very important. If you knew my background, you know that I came from obviously a single mother who worked 3 jobs, and so for me, family is very important to me. So being a better husband it might sound cliche to a lot of the viewers, but it's incredibly important to me as a husband to make sure I do my job as a husband, and any way I'm not being there for my wife or any way I can improve upon being a husband is important to me. I'm definitely a guy that thinks that it takes a team. So now that we're going to have a son, it's kind of changing things for me a little bit for my goals for next year. In terms of goals from last year. When it comes to being a father, I believe it's going to take her and I in order to raise this kid properly, right? In order to give him the best opportunities to be successful in his life for whatever avenue he takes, right? It's going to take her and I together. So in order for that to happen, I really believe in our marriage needs to be as strong and as best as possible. So for me, it's really important to be a really good husband first, and then now obviously being a good father is massively important to me. So that's a big thing on my goal list now. But I meant to bring my goal. I have a book. My wife actually bought it for me.
Oh, nice!
The first Christmas we lived together, she bought it for me.
The Master Plan.
Yeah, it's called the It's a red leather small little book, probably about the same size as that green thing over there, and it says the Master Plan on it in gold. And
and you can write it's meant to write your goals in. Or?
Yeah, you open it up. It's like a journal. It's empty. Oh, it's just lines. Okay. And so every year I've been writing on it. I write down goals for the year. I write down different weird things, different goals for Janot's, different goals for our marriage, different goals for our houses, for Rosa Properties, all these things. So different ideas I have, whatever. But every year I write down a goal sheet and then I check it off. Like I look at it halfway through the year. Usually we go on vacation in the summertime, and then I usually look at it again at the end of the year and I see, okay, how many of these goals did I accomplish, or if I need a little reminder throughout the year of what I wanted to accomplish. So for instance, a big thing for now that I'm becoming a father, I'm taking my health a lot more important because I want to be around and I want to be able to play with my son, and I want to be able to. When I'm 45, I don't want to be the guy who's on the couch who can't move. I want to be able, if my son plays baseball, I want to be able to throw a baseball with him. Or if he plays soccer, I want to kick a soccer ball with him. Or if we want to go for a run, I'd love to go for a run with him.
Of course.
So, high up there in 2022 is taking my health a lot more seriously. I've definitely put my health on the back burner for my 20s because I've been so focused on my career that I haven't neglected it. I'm not the most unhealthy guy in the world, but I haven't really focused on my health. I definitely haven't gone to the gym as much, and I definitely haven't done cardio as much. Now, I have made an emphasis on eating better. It's been on my goal sheet every year to eat better and to sleep better every year. I do believe sleep's important for recovery, and I do believe what you put in your body is 80% of the battle. So that's been a high goal of mine. But so for 2022, eating healthy is important. Exercise, getting back into the gym and exercising is important, and taking my overall health seriously more seriously is important. But just being a good husband and father and taking more of a priority in doing that. I've certainly stayed late at work a lot when I could have gone home and spent a little bit more time with my wife. So that's going to become more important to me. So I guess just being more family oriented, I felt like I'm at the point now where I don't know what the rule is, but you spend a certain number of time doing something and you kind of basically know it by now. And so basically me at the store, there's nothing really surprises me running Janot's anymore. I know what I know. and you kind of encounter different challenges along the way, but you know how to react to them better, right? You're better. You're more situational awareness better. So
10,000 hours.
Yeah, that's right. Probably. I don't know. I have to do the math, but.
Oh yeah, I just mentioned it. I think that was always the amount of hours that's cited to acquire mastery in something.
Okay. So I feel, but there's not a lot that. Nothing really flusters me anymore at Janot, so I'm a lot more ready and prepared to handle any kind of challenge that comes my way. Always willing to learn. I think if you think you know it all, you're done. So I think you need to always be humble and be ready to learn, because any kind of, like COVID was crazy curveball out of nowhere that no one of us ever predicted.
Sure
right?
Was. Yeah, sure was.
And it certainly made a lot of new challenges for Janot. So it was pretty cool to kind of work through that with Glenn and I. And it's been a challenging last, year and a half or 2 years. But it's been it's certainly made me stronger and made me more prepared for the future. So I hope that answers your original question pretty well. But in terms of I wish I had my goal sheet, because I wanted to go over it, because I was looking at it with Lauren probably a week or two ago, maybe, just before Thanksgiving. And the one thing that stuck out to me was I had written down I wanted to be able to run a 5K in under 20 minutes again. I wanted to run the turkey trot in under 20 minutes. And I didn't do any of that. And I wanted to go, so work-life balance, everybody talks about it. Some people do more of the balance, or more of the leisure part. Some people do more of the work part. I'm certainly in the work side of things. I wrote down a goal of playing 15 rounds of golf. And that's my mental unplug. I can go play golf and just relax, and my mental is on hold.
That's great.
I think I played 2 rounds tops.
Oh, shoot.
So I didn't get anywhere close to that. But I write it down every year. I've never accomplished my golf goal. I've always written it down every year. I always play like 2 or 3 rounds a year tops. But every year. Next year it probably won't be golf. It'll probably be go for more. I almost said my kid's name. Nobody knows that name. That was bad. But go for more walks with my son. I'll say that.
There you go.
My wife and I live in a nice old school neighborhood in Nashua.
Yeah.
And we enjoy walking. We love walking in that neighborhood. So go for a lot of walks with my son would be high up on there. But just more taking priority in my overall well-being is going to be important for 2022 for me.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't get me wrong. I still have a ton of professional goals I want to accomplish.
Oh, no doubt.
People laugh at me when I tell them my professional goals, but I'm dead serious, and you know that. But
I used to not believe you.
Yeah, everyone chuckles. I'm like, no, I'm serious. And like, oh, okay, good luck. I'm like, thank you.
Hey, yeah.
But a year later, look where you were, and look where you're at now.
We have so farther to go, though. I don't have time to look at where I am.
Yeah, you're very fortunate.
No, but Derek, how are we doing on time, dude?
I was just gonna say we're probably on our last couple of minutes, so if there's anything you guys want to shout out, or
I guess if you want to ask, my last question, and then you want to go for him, or maybe my last question. Do you have any last thoughts for the viewers, or anything else you want to add to what we've talked about tonight that might be helpful to both us and the viewers?
Now, I had one brief question for both of you. I don't want to take too much time, but
sure.
I know you both are both quite involved in real estate, right?
Yep.
Real estate investing, and
yes, sir.
I was just interested as someone who doesn't participate in that space myself, but certainly is interested in it and learning more about it. I assume that it can be, there's a lot of great people out there, but dealing with tenants can be a unique challenge. You get different types of personalities and different types of problems that come up. So to the extent that, I think if you're both in like residential real estate with apartments and whatnot, how would you advise, viewers to handle maybe different types of tenants, and how do you deal with that human connection piece and its opportunities and challenges?
Do you want to go first?
Yeah, I mean, I can't really say much because I purchased a multifamily with existing tenants that I've been extremely blessed with and never have had an issue in the almost year that I've been here. But I know that a lot of people, there's a few avenues you can go down in terms of who do you find to rent out your place to. Obviously, that's probably one of the most stressful attributes of owning a rental property is who do you rent to? Because you obviously don't want to rent to the wrong person because you hear all these nightmare stories, of course, and people getting screwed over. I feel like one of the avenues that you can go down, I know a lot of real estate agents can actually search for you to look for a tenant. They'll do all the advertisement for you. They'll do the background checks for you. Some even come with like an insurance. So if like the tenant they referred you to or found for you So they don't pay the rent this month. There's like some insurance that the realtor sold with finding that tenant for you. So, or if they end up trashing the place, or some sort of insurance that some real estate agents have when you purchase it. It usually costs the down payment. So it's not. It's definitely affordable. It might be worth it, but there's other avenues you can go down as well as just doing your own research. You got to do your background checks, and you got to be really thorough with who you rent out to, because, like I said, obviously you don't want to rent to the wrong person. So, but Tyler would know a little bit more about this because he's actually been in the game a little bit longer, and he's been through tenants who have moved in, moved out. So,
a couple of times we've had a little bit of turnover, and for the better every time. Well, I'm sorry, we've been very blessed. I would say, to answer your original question, Mike, it's a lot like probably what you do. A lot of your homework is in the background checks and researching different municipals that are best. Would you say investment avenues? So it's a lot like that, right? When we bought our multifamily, we had an existing tenant, a lot like Dan, that we inherited with the purchase of the sale. That she had an existing lease going, and then we've kind of just slowly made improvements to that unit upstairs while we lived there, and kind of changed it over to another lady who was even better. We kind of just think about it as stock. We kept upgrading stock, right? Where she was an awesome tenant, but I think it's a lot like anything else. You get out what you put into it. My wife and I have done a lot of homework. I definitely think that. I don't know if you find this to be the case, but in all my research, there's kind of like the two avenues that people talk about for investments is either real estate or stock market, right? And I would say the stock market's a lot more passive in the sense that you kind of do your homework on the front end, and then you do kind of plug your money in and let it go to work for you, right? And then you kind of just follow along and make sure you sell when you need to sell and or transition when you need to transition. Whereas real estate's very hands-on. It's very in your face, where you can. Yes, you buy a property. You want to find the right area. I think location is massively important because you can't change that. You can make the building as nice as possible, but if it's in downtown Detroit, it's not going to be, a very lucrative deal. Versus, it's going to be very difficult to make it. You can put lipstick on a pig. You ever heard that expression before? Yeah. So I think location in real estate is massive. I also think timing is important. You want to make sure not so much Dan, but Lauren and I bought that property back in 2017, which ended up, not at the time, not knowing it, but ended up being the perfect time to buy real estate because we bought it for less than half of what it's worth now, which is crazy in 4 years to be able to do that. And it's really been a blessing, and that's it's not something that we take lightly. But I definitely think if you're investing in real estate, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of. I always tell people I'm the hands-on guy, and Lauren's like the administrative person. So we do a lot of, like Dan said, though. Once you get the property you need in the right area and it's set up the right way to be successful, then becomes the homework part of it, where you're going to be doing a lot of background checks, and you got to be doing the administrative work to make sure you're vetting them, because you're basically you bought this huge investment. Now you need to make sure it's taken care of. So you basically think about, you bought a company, now you want to make sure the right employees are there. So you bought a rental property, now you want to make sure the right person is running it. So the person living there is paying for it, in the dumbest version possible. So you want to make sure you have the right tenant. It even gets to the point now where I make sure I'm super conservative with who we rent to. They need to have 4 or 5 times the income of the rent per month to make sure that they can really afford to live there. Because, and that's not just for you, that's for them too. They're going to live there, and they're going to be not stressing over paying the rent every month. They're going to be able to afford it. Also, is their job in a good market? What do they do? Are they in the medical field, or are they just in a restaurant business that during COVID was scary to work in? Or, of course, like we just had a tenant sign up 6 months ago, so that was during COVID, and we had to make sure he had a secure job that he was going to be able to afford his rent every month. And luckily, he's in a great job market. But it's definitely, I would say you get more comfortable with it as you go on. Because we've been in it for over 4 years, and it was certainly something. It's funny. How old was I? Like 24 when we bought that rental property, and I kind of backed into I had no intention of being like a landlord or a real estate guy or someone who wanted to. I never thought about real estate really. I just thought of. I know you said real estate to me, I would have just thought of single family homes. Buy my house forever, my forever house. Take care of it, pay it off in 15, 20, 30 years, and then you're done with it. But I started looking at properties, and then came across this idea of living there and having someone help out with the mortgage, so Lauren and I could live there, well within our means, yada yada yada. And then I kind of bought it, and we were on our honeymoon, and I had this book in my hand, and I was reading it. I was like, I don't know anything about money, I don't know anything about real estate, I don't know anything about anything, and that's turned me on down to a 4-year carousel of just studying, where I get in trouble a little bit because I get out of work, I go home, and that's my second job. I start studying real estate. I read books, I do research, I read articles, I read different kinds of things on transactions. I study different markets, and Nashua, Amherst, Milford, Hollis, Bedford. I study all these towns of like what sold for what sold for when, who bought it, this, that, and the other. Who's renting where, what are the rents going. I studied the rents in Nashua of all the bigger complexes because I want to know what I could be charging for mine based off of what they're offering to their customers and stuff like that. So it's a lot of work, like anything else. But in my mind, I mean, it's a big investment. We spent a good amount of money to buy that, so you should pay attention to it and you should want to do the work. Yeah. So, not to go off on a tangent here, I know we got to wrap it up. But
helpful, interesting insight. Thank you.
I could talk to you for an hour about this stuff because I'm very passionate about it. I love real estate.
I can tell from both of you. Yeah, it's awesome.
And I don't know about Dan, but the thing about me is it's tangible. I love that I can see what I've invested my money. I can touch it. I can feel it.
Of course.
I happen to work next door to it, but even if I didn't, I could drive over to it and I can literally see what I put my money into. And I take a lot of pride in that.
Yeah, it's physical.
Yeah,
yep.
I take a lot of pride in knowing that I own that place. People know I own that place, so I take a lot of pride knowing that it's important for me to take care of that. For me, and Lauren is the other half of the battle. She really kind of echoes what I do too, and we're a team. We really are a team on it, and she loves it too. And she certainly has. She was just like me. She knew nothing about it, so her eyes have been open to the possibilities of it as well. Now, it's just like stocks. It's not a quick term. It's not a quick fix. It's a long-term investment. You need to buy it and let it grow slowly, like anything else. If you're making quick money, I'm very skeptical as to what you're doing because it's a long-term investment for real estate for sure. Mm-hmm. So I hope that answered your question, but
certainly does. Yeah, you both did. Yeah, that was great.
So we will.
We're gonna wrap it up now. I
hate to say this, but we're gonna wrap up season 1 right now.
Yeah, season 1's over.
That's awesome.
Crazy. Appreciate you being the last guest of season 1.
Hey, it was an honor. Thanks, really guys. This was awesome.
Much appreciated you taking time out of your day to come up here after I'm sure you worked hard all day and you want to go home to your wife, and I appreciate you coming out of here and spending some time with us.
Yeah, shout out to Bridget and Lauren.
Yeah.
You guys are really working hard too.
Yeah, today too. So. Yeah. Yep. She back from Texas?
She is.
Good.
Yeah, picked her up on Sunday. Shout out to Aaron too, Derek's wife, for letting him come out.
Very clean Jeep.
Happy wife, happy life, right?
Yeah. Right.
So you're saying she's happy when you're not there?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Probably check on that. Thanks, Derek, as well, for coming out. Really appreciate you coming out every time.
Appreciate you guys bringing me on.
Thanks for season 1, dude. Yeah,
season 1.
We couldn't have done without you, dude. So we appreciate it.
Yep.
And thank you. I think I can say for you and I, Dan. Thank you.
Very thankful for our viewers.
For mostly our viewers. We appreciate all the views we got this year, the feedback, the likes, the dislikes. We appreciate everything you guys have been following along with us. It means more than you know to us, and we really look forward to season 2 with you guys, and hopefully kind of adding to what we started here with a little bit of momentum and going into season 2, and hopefully honing in on what we're doing best and kind of cleaning up what we don't do well. We're taking like the next month off, so we're going to kind of meet a couple of times, I know, and kind of go over a couple things that we want to do for 2022 to make this show even better for you guys and bring you a better, even more enjoyable experience. So we look forward to that opportunity, and we appreciate you guys following along with us.
And we're hoping for a new set, hoping for
new set.
Apple Music and Spotify.
A couple more.
Get out of my kitchen.
Couple more. Hashtag get out of my kitchen.
I want my kitchen back.
A couple more avenues of delivery, though, for sure. It'd be nice to be able to, so you guys could stop looking at our ugly mugs and just listen to us when you want to. So
on the drive to work.
Yeah, there you go. You gotta sit in traffic for a little bit, or you gotta.
That's when I listen to podcasts.
You're making dinner or stuff. I had a kid that works for us, and he was telling me he went over to his uncle's house and he walked over and our podcast was on his uncle's computer. He was like, wait, that's Tyler's voice. And then,
is Tyler here?
Yeah, he's like, what is that? What's going on? He's like, oh, it's a podcast. It was Connor's nephew.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
It was funny. So it was pretty cool. But it's been an enjoyable first season. I know it's exceeded my expectations in terms of viewer
big time
involvement. So we've been very grateful, very blessed, and I know that from my wife and I, and from my very, very soon-to-be son, thank you from the bottom of our hearts for your guys' support in the show, and we look forward to having a strong 2022.
And speaking of support, also thank you, Tom, over at Nashville Lawn Maintenance, for helping us through season 1 as well.
Absolutely, dude.
Look forward to having you on next season as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, well, hopefully, as long as you want to, Tom, we'd love to have you back. You've been an awesome sponsor.
Yep. Very appreciative.
You've been a great guy overall, dude. We love you, buddy. And we we love you. Hope you have a great holiday season with your wife, Linda, and Linda Gerard. And we look forward to hopefully continuing our sponsorship with you in 2022. And we'll go from there.
So don't forget, guys, they do snow removal too. So he'll be plowing all winter long.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Shoveling.
Down Main Street on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, you and him.
Oh, yeah. I remember working Christmas Day.
That was a great picture you sent me that day.
Yep. It was peaceful. Also, quick announcement. We will have a special show this holiday season.
Some Christmas. Somehow we're going to fit this in, but...
yeah, we're gonna do something special for you guys just to show you our thanks and for your support and your...
I thought it'd be cool, too, during that... It's going to be a shortened show for sure. But some kind of show, I think what we should do is kind of go over like a holiday checklist of things you could probably do financially just to button up the year, and then a couple of things you could think about going into 2022 in terms of what you could do to start your 2022 fiscal and family year off on the right foot. So that'd be a fun little maybe half show we could do in terms of a little holiday skit we have planned for you guys, and then a little checklist we could punch off before the holidays. So,
and again, thank you again, Mike, for coming on. We look forward to seeing where you prosper in your career. Look forward to hearing
continuing your journey at Fidelity and in Amherst. And
hey, feelings mutual, fellas, and I'm tuning into that Christmas special. I think that sounds like a great idea, and I think I would learn something. So that sounds awesome.
Awesome,
nice. All right, Mike, we appreciate it, and for all of you guys at the Dan and Tyler Show, we appreciate you.
Yes.
And for the last time in 2021, God bless and be great.
Yeah, be great. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, everybody.